Unit 2, we are in the Unit 2 and we are looked into the economic and financial plan, the marketing plan, and now we are into technical and operational plan. So we will just see what exactly these technical and operation plans are. We have seen the economic and financial plans, the marketing plan, right? And now we'll see the technical and operational plans that are needed for any enterprise in order to go about establishing a new unit or new business. What do we see here is we try to understand the importance of technology for an organization, and we will know the issues involved in identifying and selecting the right technology for an enterprise. We will also know to identify the problems in implementing the technology in the organizations and know the emerging trends in technology in general and specifically the technology in healthcare in particular. And we'll try to explore the meaning, purpose, and characteristics of operational planning, then differentiate between the operational plans, that is the strategic and the tactical plans, and we'll also learn the various types of operational plans and also the impact of those operational plans on various other areas of the business. So now let's start with what technical plans are all about. Now the future of technology, work and workplace. So I'll give you a brief introduction of what exactly the importance of technology is. Let's understand the importance of technology for the organizations. So the various issues involved in identifying and selection of the type of the technology for an enterprise must be addressed. We need to know the problems in implementing the technology in the organizations and the emerging trends in technology, particularly in the healthcare industry. We need to understand the business and technology functions. The two are separate. We need to understand also the cross-functional collaboration between the business and the technology that we use in doing the business or in coming up with a business. We need to understand the strategic objectives and develop separate supporting technologies for that. So at the pace, as the pace, scale, impact of technological innovation and disruption have exponentially expanded, technology has become a primary influence on any business strategy and also on strategic choices and the value creation models. Now, coming up, having known the importance of the technology for a business, we will now come up with the future of technological workforce and the workplace. So as the role of technology changes, so will the technology function. Market dynamics and technological advances are reshaping three major dimensions of the work. That is the work, the workforce, and the workplace. As the technology, as technology work evolves, the workforce and workplace will likely evolve in tandem. So, how the role of technology brings changes in the work. These days, with the emergence of cloud, robotics, artificial intelligence, and many other technologies, work that has been previously done in the functional mode has been primarily now affected, disrupted, augmented. Now work is specifically under the control of these IT systems. So this opens us a tremendous opportunity for the technological function to shift its time, efforts, and energy from managing technology to delivering creative, significant, and strategic business outcomes. This is how work has changed. Now, what about the workforce? To deliver the new technological work, business entities will need fresh skills and capabilities. That is, the leaders are increasingly using the open talent continuum to acquire, retain, and train these skills. So, over time, the technology workforce will become very difficult for what it is and it was in the recent past. So, we need to understand that the services of the workforce have to be managed. So, technology has brought the workforce into tandem. That's the reason we see the workforce is working for the organization from remote areas and even from work from home. Earlier, it was work from the office. And coming to the changes of technology for the workplace. So, with the advances in mobility and connectivity, the use of the tools virtually increased. So, technologies such as virtual reality and augmented reality are emerging as the new frontiers in collaboration. Even the leaders are realizing that co-creation between business and technology functions will require physical proximity and workspaces conducive to collaboration and innovation. So, workplace design now becomes a significant contribution for the workforce and the work. Then, the identification of technology. So, these are the few techniques by which we identify for adoption of the technology for an enterprise that meets our criteria. So technology should provide not only automation of the current work processes, but a solid foundation for the future business growth of the organization with strategic capital allocation and transparent investment. Here the metrics must be very clear and there must be accountability. So technology in this context, it includes both plant and machinery and the factory premises and the information technology that is used in the administration of the enterprise and in the process of work of the enterprise. So here we can come across few automation uh, criteria to meet that must be met by the organization. One is the automation of the process. How we do the process. The technology that is to be observed in a business organization has to primarily result in the total automation of the work process. So this will in turn depends on the repetitive nature of the work and also the frequency at which the work is being performed. So when the nature of the work is repetitive and also performed frequently, so it then becomes easy for shifting all such jobs from manual activity to technology driven. Here the automation standardization of the activities can be taken place and the process can be done through automation. Then the speed. The automation of the work process in an enterprise should lead to substantially increasing the speed of completion of the tasks. That is not linear, but at the exponential speed. Please understand this. That is 10x times it must increase. That's what it says. Now the accuracy. Along with speed, the technology should also bring in very high level of accuracy in the process of the work, post-automation. Then the defective jobs, the rejections due to quality issues that are mostly common in manual jobs should be a rare exception in the operations of the technology-driven enterprise, because we use that technology which gives accuracy and speed. Storage of data. Technology should enable the organization to store large volume of data over the period of time and should also provide for easy retrieval of the data when it is required. Such a technology must be used. That's the reason we use pools, data pools. Future expansion. Technology should also support the future expansion of the activities of the organization for a reasonable level of enhanced operations without incurring huge additional capital expenditure. That is, technology should help us, the organization, expand its activities. User friendliness. The technology that we adopt should be user friendly for the people to operate. Certain amount of training is needed for the staff, but they should understand it in a simple way and to the possible extent. See that the technology we use is not complex. Then the quality of the technology, high quality of the work output and products that meet the benchmarks and standards set by the enterprise should be the result of the technology that we use. So adoption of technology must lead to raising the standards and benchmarks of the organization from the existing levels. The quality of the products and services must be higher and higher. Long lifespan of the technology. As the investment in technology is normally very high, it should have a long lifespan because the cost of investment is very high and the technology can be recovered over a longer time frame than the return on investment. Since the capital investment in technology expands upfront, whereas the benefits or returns will occur over a period of time, that is in the near future. So return on investment is calculated at the net present value. So the net present value should be positive and net present value should be higher than the cost of capital funds. Then only the justification for investment in technology can be made. Then upgradation. The features for the technology that we use now can be upgraded in the near future to the reasonable extent to meet the future needs of the organization with minimum cost and time. This is how the technology must be identified. This is how we need to know. This is how we need to know what type of technology that our organization should adopt. Now coming up to the technology implementation. What technology that we need to implement? So here we face some challenges. So we need to understand the precautions we need to take when we are importing the latest technology for our plant, for our machinery, and for our work process. So implementation of technology in an enterprise is a crucial phase and it involves a lot of challenges. Now we will discuss some of the major challenges faced by the organization during the course of implementation of technology. Aligning people and process with technology. See, this is very, very difficult for every organization. See, we need to understand that there is high resistance for change in every organization. Now, when we see there is the high resistance of change by the people in the organization, implementation of technology will become difficult. So aligning people and process with technology would play a major role in implementing the technology. New technology should be integrated into existing business process. So focused implementation tends to be more effective than to use one tool to solve a particular problem for every staff in the organization. So this reduces the need for additional training. So gaining the support of the team by making them understand the benefits of the technology can bring the workforce for a very crucial win. We need to win the support of the workforce in implementing that in technology. And there is a security risk. So relying on technology relying on old and unsupported technology is inviting the trouble. So it's important to remember that implementing new technology also brings security risks. So when we are implementing any new technology, cybersecurity should always be the top priority rather than something that just tagged it at the end. So innovation as well as a good protective measure, a multi-layered defense of firewalls are very important to protect the industry standards. Then the compatibility can greatly determine how easily new technology can be implemented. How we are compatible with it, how we can make the compatibility with the products. So new software needs to be compatible with whatever operating system the organization is using prior in ordering new software, and the organizations have to make sure that they have the means for supporting the new technology. So organization may initiate some additional upgrades before bringing in the new technology. So compatibility with the old to get the new technology is what we are talking about. Then training the employees. Technology should be user friendly, as we have talked earlier, and come with training of the new technology for the employees. Maybe a tutorials of the core basics. So best programs are ones that are complex and worth their investment without causing bewilderment. So before implementing new technology, it has to be reviewed how it works and how simple it is for the organization, and particularly for the employees who adopt themselves with this particular technology, that we need to understand. So these are the things that we need to understand when we are talking about the implementation of the technology, the challenges that are aligning the people and the process with technologies, the security risk, the compatibility, the training of the employees. And then we see the factors considered before implementing the technology. So these are the three factors which we need to consider before implementing the technology. Benefits versus costs, robust process, and user adoption challenges. So benefits versus costs. So the enterprises or the organizations who are considering the new technologies must be very clear as to the benefit and let that benefit drive the prioritization process versus weighing the projects by cost or complexity. If the benefits are more for the organization, that costs incurred on them on the new technology, then that can always be taken care of, can be thought of. Robust process. Implementing technology also creates momentum to coverage process. I'm sorry, momentum to converge the process so that it will help the organization to identify what their leading practices are and doubling down on making those more precise and efficient. So robust technology, robust process, making the work into 3x or 10x times. User adoption challenges. Users will often resist change. This is what we talked about. And adopting new systems, particularly when they haven't been consulted, and the employees, they are very tough to handle. When you bring the new technology and they are not consulted, if their reporting organizations do not insensitize them to do so, or if the benefits of such are not told to them, the new technology are not properly communicated, it's very tough for the organization to go ahead. So, benefits must be thought, not the costs. The process must be made 10x times precise and efficient, and the employees who use this technology must be made known before bringing the technology into force by the organization. So these are the factors to be. See, normally we talked about this as workers' participation in management, in human resource management systems. So this is a very important thing that we need to consider before implementing or bringing the technology. Now we'll see what are the post-implementation issues of technology. Relocating or releasing the talent and security gaps, service providers may cease to exist. Hype of technology is a burden on resource. Then hunt for technical talents. These are the things that we need to take care of. After having known the factors that we should consider before implementing the technology, now we are here to understand what are the post-implementation issues of technology. Relocating or releasing the talent. With new technologies, we need new skills. We need the size of the department to be reduced due to consolidation of work. So what does it mean that there can be a laying off? See, many employees are afraid of the AI tools, where artificial intelligence has come into being. They're afraid that they may be laid off because the workforce will become consolidated. So further, the organizations may require to restrain or hire new talent according to the technology. as a result of embracing these technologies. So we may have to relocate the employees, or we may have to lay down some of the employees. And the security gaps. So as new technologies work through a cycle, that is a maturity cycle, so there are points for disruption and breaches. So adopting new technology can expose industries and organizations to new security threats. See, because this is an adopted technology, they have their server, they give us the passwords, and we need to think and rethink, while taking certain technology. So there will be definitely security gaps. That's the reason many organizations use instant passwords. So service providers may also cease to exist. Now with the many defunct startups and companies giving software as a service, there is also a risk that current partners may be at the risk to closure, which will be a risk and danger for the data of the enterprise. So we need to see that what kind of service providers we are going into. Hype of technology, a burden or on resources. Hype of technology, a burden on resources. So technology hype may cause organizations to expend money without properly assessing and knowing the business models around their investments. Not every company would see the positive returns for the investments that they made. So we need to understand the burden that the company, the financial burden that comes upon an organization when we are using a particular technology. Their hunt for technical talent. So with the use of technology, there are a number of industries that are currently still struggling to find the correct talent to use that technology. That may include insurance, manufacturing, service organizations, and other established industries. So without proper talent branding to attract new and bright minds, it is not even feasible for organizations to reap the benefits of the new technology. So talent hunt plays a major role when we try to implement the technology. Of course, if this can be seen as a pre-factor also, that makes sense. So the major implementation issues in the healthcare sector, right, for its total automation. These days we see robotics, artificial intelligence, right, and also medical transcription. All these things have come into force. But how best we have the right talent to use for this is very important for the organizations to know. Now the emerging trends in technology. So what are the emerging trends that we see in the technology? Enterprise agility. We must see that every part of the organization, every component in the organization must work in union. So this will enable the organization to rapidly respond to the changing market conditions. So business technology strategy should drive the entire enterprise to transform the business. And also the technological function should blend seamlessly to rally around customer and employee needs. So to achieve the enterprise agility, businesses must optimize how they organize and structure the technology at work and how they operate. At the intersection of these two dimensions is enterprise agility, where businesses have in more agile manner. That is, there must be high compatibility in doing the work. The business and technological functions, the two different dimensions of the organization, must have the agility to function together. Now, human machine interaction. Smart organizations realize that all human activities cannot be replaced or substituted by machines. This is the very important thing that one has to understand. A repetitive activity can be automated, but the activities that required critical decision making or innovative or creative functions need to be performed only by people. Machines may gain ground in solving structured problems and detecting the patterns in making predictions. But they are not generally intelligent. They are not creative. They cannot make the judgments that we need to understand. So machines may be used to handle the work which is repetitive for automation, but the people are the innovators. So innovation, creativity, and critical decision making lies. All the creative functions lies in the hands of the people. So medical technology may aid the doctors in proper diagnostics, but cannot replace the critical function of decision making done by the doctors in the treatment of patients. So organizations cannot automate everything. That is what we need to understand here. Co-creation of workspace. Co-creation will require physical proximity to a specific location for some, advanced and collaborative tools for others, and a culture and leadership that incentivize, incentivizes desired behaviors and outcomes. So organizations are adjusting to work with multi-generational talent pools and blurred boundaries across the organization and ecosystems. So what do we need to understand here is organizations have designed workspaces that foster spontaneous encounters that may lead to higher levels of innovation and collaboration. And many do not rely on traditional office space, but bring together talent virtually or physically as needed. And telemedicine is one of the examples, medical transcription. Tech-enabled innovation. A technology-enabled innovation process will allow the business and the technology teams to rapidly explore and experiment with multiple possibilities, leverage the needed skills and expertise, and scale up rapidly as needed. So scientific research, R&D are some of the examples for tech-enabled innovation. Cultural alignment. Reimaging the technology typically requires cultural change, and which is not so easy to bring overnight, especially when we have employees who are working for decades in our organization. So technology and business leaders both are aware about the cultural resistance to change as the top reason for failure of initiatives. Cultural change requires time and constant reinforcement through training, incentives, rewards, leadership support, and serious commitment. Culture, in the sense, the values, the beliefs, the assumptions of the people must be changed. Then, enterprise wide participation. Reimaging technology is a journey with many possible starting and end points for every organization, depending on strategy, industry conditions, and market. In order to make enterprise-wide participation smooth, leaders across the business, apart from the technology leaders, should actively participate in the process of unifying the business process and the technology strategies and functions to enable co-creation of exponential and sustainable value across these blended teams. So enterprise-wide participation, top level management, middle level management, lower level management, and the employees who are doing the work, they all must come together in implementing the technology that is needed for the organization. Now coming up, so these are the emerging trends that we see, and this can be an essay question in your exam. Write the emerging trends and technology for healthcare sector and technology in healthcare in India. These days, technology is the game changer in the manner in which healthcare services are delivered in India. So in private sector, we see more technology adoption in Indian healthcare segment. So to optimize the costs and effectively manage operations, IT solutions have become an integral part of the management process and patient care and the management information systems in hospitals. So with the health insurance sector poised for major growth in near future, and now also after the COVID, so increasing demand from the private sector for more efficient systems for storage and retrieval of information. or a pressure on the hospitals and healthcare providers are to use the modern technology and also modernize their existing infrastructure. So, in order to converge the healthcare with upcoming technologies, cloud computing and wireless technologies, they are playing a major role in improving the accessibility and meeting the challenge of manpower shortage. And we have also seen telemedicine, teleradiology, hospital information system, HIS, hospital management information system, HMIS, online and and electronic medical records, EMR, are all being set. So, with the adoption of cloud computing, cost effectiveness is being seen. Cloud-based solutions are expected to drive increased adoption of hospital management information systems and online or electronic medical records. So the various benefits that can be derived from the technology are easy accessibility irrespective of geographical location, fewer errors, quick response in times of emergencies, patient convenience, among others, will drive increased adoption. And quick response in times of emergencies. So, to drive the improved efficiencies, more hospitals are likely to seek automation for their workforce management, administration, finance, billing, patient records, to keep the patient records and keep the pharmacies. So, along with the growing popularity of digitalization in hospitals, market penetration of picture archiving and communication systems, PACS, is likely to increase further in coming years. So these are the certain transformational changes in the healthcare sector in India that have come. Telemedicine, the Internet of Things, cloud computing, visual and augmented reality, virtual and augmented reality solutions, artificial intelligence, chatbots, data science and predictive analytics and blockchain, all these have come into force. And we have seen some of them. And this can be an essay question also in your exam where they ask you the impact of technology in healthcare in India. So these are the changes that have come in the healthcare management. Now coming to the operational planning. So operational planning is a useful tool for detailing the strategic goals of an organization. What exactly the implementation of the strategy is all about? It talks about the exact implementation of the strategy. So, operational strategy is not a strategic plan. It is part of the strategic plan. That we need to understand. See, there are 4 types of plans that come up in a corporate. Corporate plan, business plan, then functional plan, then the operating plan. So operational plan is at the basic level in every organization. So it describes the milestones, the conditions for success, and explains how or what portion of a strategic plan will be put into operation. That too during a given period of time. So this answers four questions. Where is the organization right now? Where do you want it to be? How do you get there? And how do you measure the progress? Now let me tell you the very important things that we need to understand is operational plans are at the bottom level of the strategic plan. So the purpose of this plan is to outline in detail the operations of the business as well as the future growth projections. So it supports the management's approach. It covers staffing, financial, marketing, and various others functional areas in the organization. This will help us how exactly our business is moving forward. Then the types of operational plans. There's the purpose and types of operational plans. So three levels of planning. See if it is a single business firm, three levels of planning. If it is a multiple business firm, then there will be four levels of planning. Corporate planning, then we talk about the business plan, then the functional plan, then the operational plan. But if it is a single business firm, corporate and business plan are the same. Then we talk about something which is called a functional plan and then the operating plan. So top level management takes care of the strategic plan and the aim that is the corporate office, and here they discuss what is the vision and mission of the organization and important issue, the goals, the ambitions of the organization. That set a tone for the organization. Then the middle level management, that is a functional management where they play a tactical role at the functional levels. They take the decision, division wise decisions, right? And they take the functional area wise decisions. Then the operation, the low level management is the operational, which they plan for the activities and processes that enable the tactical plan. So it implies a unit of the company such as department or a division. So this is exactly at the bottom level which reaches the customers. So operational plans phase can be divided into two forms, a single use form and standing form. It carries single use plan in the sense carries out a course of action that most likely will not be repeated in the future. Then that is the disposing thing. Other then standing plan. It covers the activities that appear repeatedly over a certain period of time with the purpose of solving repetitive problems. The quality standards, continuously monitoring the production and the service, whether it is according to the quality specifications or not. So, what does an operational plan include? So, it depends upon the size of the business and also the size of the project, whether it is long term or short term, we decide on it. So, operational plan of an enterprise has stakeholders' priority, social, cultural, socio-cultural, gender issues, financial requirements, security, incident management, advertising, and marketing, ordering and purchasing, HR management, calendar of events, monitoring progress, etc. And you can include many other things that come up there. So it all depends on the priorities, goals, and objectives of the organization, how you include and delete. So three levels as we talked about. In a single business, strategic plan, tactical, top level, middle level, lower level. But in a multiple business, it will be four levels. That is the corporate planning and business plan, functional plan, and operating. So these are the contents that talk about the mission, vision of the organization and the goals at the top level. Then the support systems are in the middle level, and the operating systems are at the operations level, where the original activity is being done, where the plans are being implemented. So characteristics of operational plan. So it assumes the upper management has prepared both a strategic and tactical plan. So they are the exact lower management people who try to achieve the target of the organization. And coming to the last, that is strategic plan versus operational plan. Strategic man, top level management they do that, and bottom level do the operations. A strategic plan is for 3 to 5 years. This is a 1 year plan, and the strategic plan is cannot change it significantly every year, but operational plan may differ from the need. It is a need based plan, so it is a generic one that we need to understand. So this, suppose I complete the this, then operational plan implementation is perhaps more about the management than about the planning. Planning is done at the, this is said by WHO, the World Health Organization. And implementation of operational plan requires manpower and material, supported by the methods and processes. So these are the exact people who execute the strategic plan of the organization. So here we have seen two important things place: the technology and the operations. So this completes a session on, I hope this completes the second unit also. Yes, this completes the second unit and also on technology and operations. So important things are enterprise agility is important. Man-human interaction, man-machine interaction is important. Technology-enabled innovation is important, and enterprise-wide participation is important. Then we need to go about seeing the finance, the legal issues, and the consultancy management. That will be seen in the next class.